There we go. Everything's unmuted. Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Parasocial Pals. Sorry for the long delay. I had a lot of weekends of doing things of various nature, but we're back. I am Papa Strell. With me, as always, is my co-host Nick. Nick, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. Just waking up on a Sunday afternoon,
Yeah, everybody's favorite.
despite it being like 1 o'clock.
It's especially Sunday. You can wake up late.
Don't tell that to Jesus.
Don't tell that to Jesus. That's right. You can wake up late if you speak Spanish from all of the churches I've seen.
Or are we doing that stereotype?
All of the churches I see have the Spanish mass later than the English mass.
Yeah, well, they do go to mass like way more often than everyone else, I guess.
Yeah. Later is still like 8 to 9 or something like that. It's ridiculous. Way too early to wake up on a fucking weekend. Anyway, have you had a chance to do anything yet today? You have plans to do anything today?
I mostly just made breakfast.
Hell yeah. What'd you have for breakfast?
Chicken soup.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yep. It's what happens when you have leftover Costco rotisserie parts. You don't want to do
Yeah.
anything with them.
Hell yeah. Yeah, just throw them in some throw them in some stock with a potato. Baby, you got a soup going.
Basically. Like every vegetable in my fridge that wasn't moldy just went in there.
Just went into the pot. Hell yeah. That's the best use of it. Kale is one of the few things that I will enjoy in soup and just about nowhere else.
I don't think I've ever tried kale in soup.
It's really good.
More a cabbage kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm not a cabbage guy. I didn't think I was
I
a
don't
kale
like
guy.
kale in salad.
Yeah, no, kale in salad is terrible. Also, despite how healthy it is really bad in like smoothies and stuff. It's just
Yeah,
so
I can
bitter.
imagine.
But I think cooking it helps release some of that.
Have you done anything this morning?
Um,
Are you a productive member of society? Unlike me?
not since Wednesday. A little bit actually. So I hate video game controllers. Every video game controller in the world is terrible, and I'm trying to find the least terrible one. So you came over yesterday, and I hooked up my Switch One Pro controller to my PC. And that works fine enough, except Nintendo just sucks at everything. So if that controller turns off, I have to resync it to the laptop every fucking time. It doesn't remember.
Oh.
So
that's annoying.
That sucks because I like that controller and its battery life, but that's a fucking non-starter. So then I was like, all right, I need to find a controller that doesn't suck.
I assume that wiring the controller with a USB cord is out of the question.
No, the whole fucking point of this is that I'm going wireless. I don't want to wire a fucking controller to anything ever again. It's not 2001 and I'm not 10 years old anymore. Which of course makes everything suck even more. So I did some controller testing because again, I'm just fucking so great at this. One of the problems I have with this very expensive Xbox Elite Series 2, God, you people suck. I bought an Xbox Elite controller many years ago. And it's a really nice controller. It's got like fucking insane battery life, feels good. It's got back buttons, which I'm really starting to like. The problem is the thumbstick is like a little loose. So if I hold it far left and then let go to neutral, it'll snap back and go right just a little bit. And that makes playing precision games like Hollow Knight or Silksong a fucking nightmare. Because if I'm going left and then let go of the stick, I expect to still be looking left. And that doesn't happen like 60% of the time. So that expensive piece of shit is out. So I was like, okay, let's try a regular Xbox controller. Same shit. Okay, let's try a PS5 controller. PS5 controller, the thumbstick is much tighter. It's not nearly as bad, but it's a PS5 controller, so it's got the battery life of nothing. That thing I don't think will last an entire day.
What a Sega. What was the Sega handheld thing?
Oh
That
yeah, it's got the
like,
battery life of fucking Game Gear.
Yeah, the Game Gear.
And the obvious adult answer to that problem is just plug it in, dipshit. And I don't want to do that all the time because I don't. So that controller has its problems. The Xbox controller has its problems. The Switch controller has its problems. All of these controllers fucking suck in different ways. And now I'm looking at stuff on Amazon and just driving myself insane. So anyway, that was my morning.
Well, that sounds frustrating.
It does.
I would just plug it in.
No, not happening. Absolutely not fucking happening.
Then again, I play games at a desk, not a couch.
Sometimes I play games at a desk and I still don't want to plug it in.
Well, that is your preference, I suppose.
It is 2020 fucking 6. I should not have to plug in shit. And it's not even a latency thing. Like, I'm not even getting into fucking controller latency because obviously Bluetooth is absolutely garbage for that. But we'll burn that bridge one day.
They're just gonna focus on making graphics more hyper realistic.
Yeah.
They're not gonna make games feel better.
No.
That's not gonna sell games to executives.
Mm-hmm.
The games have to look better because executives don't play video games; they see them on a screen.
They look at them on the television screen in the commercial, like everyone.
Well, I guess there was a whole bunch of gaming news while we were gone.
Boy, was
Everybody
there.
knows it by now.
Everybody got fired. Everything got canceled. That's the news. Hi.
Yeah. PlayStation has somehow shit on the floor and in their mouth.
It's really quite spectacular. Yeah, it's funny. I was listening to the Castle Super Beast podcast, a much better podcast that you should go listen to after this one. Everybody out there. And Pat was talking about how the video game industry is an industry of failure, and all you have to do to succeed is nothing. Just don't fucking do anything. The other guy will kill themselves, and then you win. And nobody can seem to figure that out.
Luigi winning at Mario Party right now.
Exactly. It's all you have to do is nothing, and nobody can figure that out. And like,
also, we should end our podcast the way Murs on the Yangtze did, and just list every podcast that's better than ours.
That is a great way. Yeah, no, here's all the podcasts that inspired us and are better.
Starting with Arthur Conan Doyle's.
Oh, Arthur Conan Doyle's seminal work, yes. Which is public, most of it's public domain, so we don't have to credit it, I think. I'm not a lawyer. I don't fucking know.
Arthur Conan Doyle's Detective Conan. Hit anime.
Oh, yeah. Detective Jimmy Conan, my favorite. Ugh. If I call him Jimmy Conan, my wife might actually divorce me. She loves that.
Jimmy Conan O'Brien.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Conan O'Brien the Barbarian. Do you think we should talk about Star Trek on our Star Trek podcast?
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's here is probably waiting for that.
I suppose so. All right, well, let's jump into it. We watched technically more than 2 episodes this time.
Yeah, we watched an episode and then another episode like 3 times.
Yeah, of varying qualities.
So we watched A Wolf in the Fold and The Trouble with Tribbles. So to get started with the brief synopsis of Wolf in the Fold, after I guess it was some kind of engineering mishap with Scotty, they take him down to a pleasure planet to, I don't know, do rehab with him. They kind of mentioned offhand that it was caused by a woman, so now he's a misogynist.
Yeah, that was a weird thing that they mentioned and didn't need to.
They get him a stripper to like cure his misogyny. I don't It's the 60s, man.
I don't know. Has anyone ever tried that? Has Reddit ever tried that? Just saying.
I don't know if getting an incel a stripper would cure them. It might.
It very well might. But I'm not paying for it.
No. Um, but anyway, Scotty wanders off with one of the dancing girls, and like a few moments later, we hear a scream, and then we see them again. The girl is dead, and Scotty's against the wall with a knife.
In his hand.
Uh, so they bring him back to the strip club after entering it, exiting, or what, getting everyone out of there.
Yeah.
And Kirk is very insistent that Scotty could not have done this, despite him being there with the knife in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lawyer comes by, and like he wants to handle this by the book, but the planet's, I forget what they call him.
I
The like
want
leader of the planet.
Yeah, they don't say magistrate or like prime minister, but basically that.
Yeah, he's the leader of the planet. Prefect. He's a
Prefect. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so the prefect comes by and he's being very accommodating, Kirk. I guess Kirk says, "Hey, I don't think Scotty could have done this. Let us run our scans on him, and we can prove that he's innocent." And he goes along with that. They bring him to the prefect's house, and they bring down an ensign to scan Scotty, a female ensign. They leave them alone together, and guess what? Uh, the female ensign dies, and Scotty's with the knife again.
The same knife, I believe.
The exact same knife. So, again, they keep insisting Scotty's such a precious boy who could never commit murder. And like McCoy's like, well, maybe it's because he bumped his head.
Yeah,
His concussion made him.
Scotty has amnesia. He doesn't remember killing these women,
Yes.
but he doesn't deny it.
And then the prefect's like, well, my wife is a psychic, so we can just have her do a little seance to see if Scotty did it. And Kirk's like, yeah, okay, let's do that. So they do a seance, and in the middle of it, she starts chanting about like an overwhelming evil that wants to destroy and devour everything. And then she dies. And then Scotty has the knife in his hand in her back.
And blood on his hand.
They're still insisting he couldn't have done it.
It sounds like you're just feeding innocent women to Scotty at this point.
Yeah, they didn't handcuff him or anything. So they bring him back to the ship for another courtroom scene, because we love courtroom scenes on this show.
Oh my God, we love courtrooms.
And they hook him up to a lie detector. And they grill him, and he says that he doesn't remember killing the women, and the ship says that that's true. But like the lawyer, the prosecutor's not really having it, because why would you?
Yeah, any decent prosecutor would be very against all of this bullshit.
And then they go off on a really real leap of logic and start questioning like what the lady was talking about during her seance. And it ends with, oh, Jack the Ripper did it. The disembodied spirit of Jack the Ripper, who is actually some kind of alien entity, made Scotty do it. And then it turns out the lawyer was Jack the Ripper the whole time. And then Jack the Ripper takes over the ship. And then somehow they get him back in his original body and teleport him into space. And that's the episode. It's crazy.
It's so you've talked about it before, and despite not having seen the whole episode, I am aware of the Scottish sex ghost from Next Generation.
TNG.
And like I thought that was a TNG. Like I know TNG gets a little wacky with it, so I'm like, okay, I guess TNG is the wacky time, and this original thing is much more serious, and we've seen very serious things happen on this show, and we would never have an episode where the ghost of Jack the Ripper goes on a transgalactic murder spree, because that would be insane.
No, this episode it's a nutso, man.
So anyway, Jack the Ripper goes on a transgalactic murder spree. Oh, And as the fucking cherry on top, who plays the prosecutor slash Jack the Ripper?
None other than Piglet from Winnie the Pooh.
None other than the voice of Piglet from Winnie the fucking Pooh. I don't
What
know
was
if
his
that
name?
man is still alive, but if he is, he's an absolute treasure.
Yeah, I guess I skipped over who the cast of this episode is, but it's basically just Kirk and Scotty.
Yeah.
And McCoy's there to spout like medical mumbo jumbo.
McCoy's there. We once again have like 50% Sulu hits. Sulu is here for a second.
Yeah, very briefly. Where's the cast? Okay, so yeah, our cast is Kirk. Bach is kind of there. John Fiedler as Hengist.
John
Hengist.
Fiedler.
John Fiedler is yeah, he however you imagine that Piglet looks in real life, it's not that. He's like a tiny little bald man.
Yeah, like I don't know, if you imagine real life Piglet and then imagined he got like a desk job that he hated for 30 years and started to go bald, you'd get pretty close to what he looks like.
I suppose. But he has a very distinctive voice, so like at the start we were both very like
Yeah, it's like
trying to place it.
that voice is familiar, but I don't know where. And one Google search later reveals that it's Piglet. Phenomenal actor, by the way. His acting in this episode is fantastic.
Yeah, I think he's also doing the Jack the Ripper voice when he's taking over the ship, and he's much more manic in
Yeah.
that persona.
Now I want a Winnie the Pooh Piglet Jack the Ripper, which I'm sure someone is literally in the process of making because I think we've got at least 2 Winnie the Pooh murder movies.
We should probably inform them of that crossover
I know.
so that they can fully utilize it.
It's the easiest thing, guys. Come on.
Yes. Let's see. The other characters are, I guess. Oh yeah, there was 2 aside from the prefect and his wife. Prefect Jarvis and Sibo, his wife.
Yeah,
There
Sibo.
was also the dead girl's fiance and her dad, who end up like having extremely minor roles because at the start of the show it's just kind of a whodunit, and they're propped up as like possible suspects,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just go nowhere with that.
Yeah, that ends almost immediately.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I guess we can get into your notes.
Yeah, so the episode opens up. We have everyone's favorite thing, white woman belly dancing.
She was playing like castanets, but she was not using them.
Yeah, I don't think she had ever seen them before because she like had them and she wasn't clacking them together. And like, I wonder if she didn't know, or maybe she did that and it like fucked with the audio and they were like, okay, don't do that.
Yeah, I think they were probably saying like, yeah, we'll add the music in post. It's fucking up our audio.
Yeah. The belly dancing, I mean, it's better belly dancing than I could do.
I think they hired an actual stripper to do the belly dancing.
I would believe it, yeah. She had like a little thing over her belly button, and I wonder if that was like a censorship thing because it's the 60s.
I think it was because remember when we talked about the Mirror Universe episode?
Yeah, they had to get the
And they had to lead
censors out on lunch breaks.
Yeah. So, I believe it was a censorship thing. Just too sexy, that midriff.
Too sexy, those midriffs. They're crazy. So yeah, white woman belly dancing. Our main crew, Scotty, Kirk, and McCoy are sitting at a table. McCoy, of course, has a drink in his hand. And they're just watching the show, enjoying, talking about Scotty's recent head injury and how this is the perfect way to cure it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I mentioned briefly that it was caused by a woman, and
Yeah,
now he has a concussion, and their decision is, oh, let's bring him down to the Arabian Nights pleasure planet.
Yeah, they bring it up really specifically, like, oh yeah, there was a bulkhead explosion, and Scotty knows it was caused by a woman, and maybe he's got a little misogyny.
Like, I just don't see how these things are related at all. I think Kirk just wanted to get down on the planet.
McCoy as well. I think McCoy saw the opportunity to observe a patient with a drink in his hand and took it.
There's a running gag in the episode where McCoy knows a place, and Kirk also knows that
Kirk
place.
knows that same place, yeah.
And it immediately reminded me of one of my old bosses who knew a place in TJ.
Oh.
What was it? I will not name the place, but he knew the place, and he took me there once, and I never wanted to go back.
Never take me to this place or country again.
Yes, I washed my hands a lot after that incident.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But it was great bonding, right? Surely you got a promotion out of that.
I think I quit like 6 months after that. No.
You ruined the
No,
place. Yeah, so we see the dancer. She's going crazy. Kirk mentioned that he invited that dancer over to the table. Scotty's really into her. So like he's at least more horny than hateful of women at this point.
Yeah, and the whole time she's with them, there's a guy that the camera's focusing on who's really fuming about it.
Yeah, it's this guy with piercing blue eyes, and the camera keeps fucking focusing on him while he's staring at Scotty, who's enjoying this.
And possibly the most broken nose I've seen since Owen Wilson.
Yeah, it was really distinct. He had a really square face. It was a distinct face. But yeah, the guy definitely foreshadowing some shit with that guy. So yeah, they invite the woman to the table. Scotty lays on his Scottish charm and talks about how beautiful the fog in Scotland is, and we should totally go for a walk in the fog.
It's funny that his go-to move is "I'm Scottish," and that seems to work for him.
It works for Chekhov way more than it fucking should. So yeah,
maybe in the future, like being culturally distinct is more appealing because everybody's just kind of an amalgam.
Especially if you're from Earth, like, oh, you're from Earth. That's so exotic.
It's like being old money.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got a job.
Classic
he works on
Earth
a ship.
Culture.
Yeah. We love men with jobs in the future. So yeah, Scotty takes a woman out for a stroll. Kirk and McCoy talk about how they know a place, and I don't remember if they go outside and start walking to it when they hear the scream. I think they do. They hear a woman scream, they go over, and they discover, oh no, that woman Scotty left with is dead. Oh, and Scotty's standing there with a knife. Bum, bum, bum. And then we get the opening credits.
I think they literally do the bum, bum, bum.
I think you're right. Sting. Yeah, they literally played. So yeah, that's when we get our first of multiple "she's dead" gyms this episode. And then yeah, like you were saying, they bring everyone back to the nightclub. I don't know if they emptied it out or if it just happened to close right around that time. But they bring everyone back to the nightclub. Obviously, Kirk and McCoy are interrogating Scotty, and he's like, I don't know. I was walking, and then you found me, and there was a knife in my hand. No idea, Captain. And this is around time that Prosecutor Piglet walks in.
And I think he explains to him that like these people are so focused on pleasure that they don't really handle their own administrative like affairs.
Yeah, the Argillian people, I believe he says.
Yeah, Argillians.
Yeah,
and he's from like Rigel or something.
Yeah, he's from Rigel 4 or something. So like, yeah, the Argillians are super bad at managing shit because they just love pleasure so much. So I'm here to do the management of the prosecuting. And yeah, he's gonna try to interrogate Scotty, gets pretty much the same answers. Working with the evidence he's got, yeah, no, it looks like Scotty fucking murdered a chick. Which Kirk is adamant didn't happen with absolutely no fucking proof.
Like, Scotty's really getting the like college football player treatment in this episode.
Oh yeah.
He's
No,
such a nice boy. He never could have done such
he
a
could
thing.
never have done it. I really need him and I like him, so he's not a murderer. Um and yeah, this is around the time the prefect shows up, the head honcho. Um Despite what Piglet said, he seems very much like he is capable of managing people and being in charge, because he's immediately like, yeah, no, my wife is psychic. Let's bring him back to the house and we can have her do a psychic reading. And Kirk, who knows a man that can mind meld, is like, that sounds stupid. Just let me do my computer stuff.
Yeah, Spock's is like, Kirk, you should bring him up to the ship, and Kirk's like, we're kind of under their jurisdiction right now, so we can't.
Yeah, like Kirk, despite being adamant that Scotty didn't do murder, does understand that a murder occurred and he's the prime suspect, so he can't just go around teleporting people and shit.
Like the one time he decides to follow the like prime directive.
Yeah. But he does say, oh, well, we can bring someone with a psycho tricorder, which I believe is the first time we've heard of the psycho tricorder.
And the last time.
Yeah. Oh, great. Lovely.
I will say, I think if Scotty had actually been declared guilty, Kirk would have like transported him off and just scooted out of there.
Oh,
He would have found
100%.
some loophole.
Yeah, no, he probably would have just been like, all right, well, we can never go back here.
He would not have tolerated Scotty being executed.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the prefect agrees to bring the psycho tricorder person down. They'll go do it at his house. Because he doesn't want to be in the strip club anymore, I guess. Yeah, so they go over to the prefect's very nice house. It's not a fountain, but it looks like a giant fountain statue thing in the middle of the house.
Yeah, it was like some kind of techno hookah or something.
Yeah, that it did have little like techno buttons and stuff. Very, tribal yet futuristic.
Yeah.
So
this whole area is obviously like Paramount's like Morocco set or something.
Yeah, the streets especially, like even though they were super foggy, it's like, yeah, this looks like a fucking like Morocco type area that they're just reusing.
It's a very Arabian Nights kind of, what the 60s thought I Love Genie was like.
Yeah, exactly. Like even not just the belly dancer, but like the backup music and stuff. Dude kind of looked like Abu from Aladdin. Like had the little hat and the fucking vest and everything.
If only he was voiced by Frank Welker.
If only he was voiced by Frank Welker. So yeah, they beam down a woman with the psycho tricorder, and they're like, oh, Scotty, let's go set up in a secluded room away from everybody, and we can do this fucking psycho tricorder thing. And everyone's like, yeah, let's let the suspected woman murderer go with a woman to a secluded room. Nothing bad could happen. So they do that.
At least handcuff the guy.
Like that's the crazy thing. Like at no point do they ever restrain him. Like I know you haven't proven that he's guilty, but he is suspected and should be treated as such.
Have we ever seen anyone handcuffed in this series?
I was just going to ask you. I don't know if we've ever actually seen handcuffs.
I don't think I've ever. Like, they usually just phaser a guy and throw him in behind a force field or
You know
something.
what? We did, but only when Kirk went back in time to the military base.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he was handcuffed.
Yeah. Maybe the Federation decided handcuffs were a cruel and unusual punishment or something.
No, we can't use handcuffs. They're too terrible.
It's barbaric, limiting someone's arm movement.
Yeah.
Well, they should bring them back.
Yeah, yeah, they have their purposes. So yeah, they go off to do their thing. Kirk and the prefect and everybody talk for a minute, and then they're like, "Hey, where's the murder knife? It was right here, and now it's gone." I think they hear another scream. Yeah, and then they go to investigate, and there's another dead woman, and there's another Scotty.
Yeah, she was doing her tricorder thing in like the basement, and it turns into a very brief locked room mystery because there's only two entrances, the one they went down and then like an exit to the garden that's been quote unquote locked for years.
Yeah.
And then the resolution on that is McCoy goes to go scan it with his tricorder and comes up and says, "Well, it could have been picked or not picked. I don't know."
Yeah, fucking maybe, I don't know. So maybe it's a locked room. That's also when we get our second "she's dead" Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we've got two potential murders. One of them a crew member, and one of them a national of this planet. Scotty again, the only suspect. But then we start to do a little bit of actual detective work, and we determine, I don't remember if they were brought there initially, if they showed up later, but like two men from the nightclub are there. One of them was the drummer, who turns out to be the father of the first murdered woman.
Mm-hmm.
And the second was the blue-eyed guy that we focused on, who turns out to be the not fiance of the murdered woman.
Who is guilty of the crime of jealousy.
Such a crime, jealousy on this pleasure planet.
Guilty of not liking his fiance wandering off in the dark with another man.
Yeah. So yeah, then we get to Kirk actually doing some good investigating. Like, hey, where were you? I saw you leave the nightclub before the girl was murdered. And he's like, oh, I went home. And he's like, yeah, well, can anybody prove that? No. Okay, well, you could have done it. And where were you just now when this girl was murdered? I didn't see you. I was outside. So we're starting to cast suspicions on this guy for some double murder.
We talked about it while we were watching it, but like it's very odd that a culture that is vehemently against like sexual jealousy also has marriage.
Yeah.
As an institution.
They bring up weirdly that like he was her fiance and they were going to be married. But then they didn't, and he's like, yeah, but she still liked me. And the dad was like, no, she didn't. She fucking hated you.
It's like, was it an arranged marriage then? It can't be, because the dad seemed to hate this guy too.
Yeah, it's really unclear why they were getting married or why these people even have marriage. But yeah,
the episode doesn't care, and neither do we.
Yeah, the episode doesn't care. We can't prove it, so Prefect's wife is ready for her magic seance, which Kirk calls Spock about, because Spock's just hanging out on the ship being like, can I be in the episode? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, Jim. This could be dangerous. It might hurt Scotty, and it sucks compared to mind melding. It's just like bullshit, so like, don't even bother. But Kirk goes along with it anyway. So they do the seance, and the woman starts saying that there's some sort of entity, a powerful, unquenchable thirst for chaos and murder. She says a bunch of unfamiliar words, and then the lights go out, and then the lights come on.
Find the exact word she says. Blah blah blah. Because it ends up being kind of relevant. Argalian law. Man, you guys don't just have her quoted in here?
I mean, it might show up later when they actually start analyzing the word.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah. The names Baratus, Kelsa, Redjack come up.
Redjack, that's right. So she says those, lights go out, lights come on, she's dead with a knife in her back, Scotty's holding her with blood on his hand, and now we've got 3 dead women. It's officially a murder spree. So the Prefect takes this like way better than you'd think a man whose wife just got murdered did.
Yeah, he's possibly the chillest guy in the universe.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense considering the description of the people. He does look.
I mean, if you don't get jealous when your wife wanders off with another guy, why would you care if she dies? Huh?
Yeah, I guess so. You just, that's our kind of love.
Find another one.
So yeah, fucking Prosecutor Piglet is like, fucking, we need to, this Scotty clearly fucking murdered people, and you're just continuing to let it happen. And Kirk is like, nah, I've got these super cool computers back on my magic spaceship. We can take him up there and we will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt he didn't do it. And Prosecutor's like, that's fucking stupid. And Prefect's like, nah, I'm allow it.
Hey, remember that episode where the whole thing was about how we shouldn't trust the testimony of a machine?
How machines are super fallible and bullshit. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that doesn't matter when Scotty's life is on the line.
When Scotty's on the line, computers are the best thing ever and do no wrong. Yeah. Um,
Like the lawyer even goes, well, if you can prove to me that its testimony is flawless, and Kirk goes, it is flawless.
yeah. Kirk's like, nah, it is. And that's the last time it is questioned.
Well, I mean, if a ship captain says it, it must be true. Ship captains are so rare and honorable and
They're
special.
so cool and special and again cool and hairy. So yeah, they take everybody, the people, the prefect, the lawyer, Scotty, back onto the ship, and they go to the interrogation room that we've seen oh so many times. And they interrogate Scotty. They put his medical record on there, and they're like, yeah, he suffered a head injury. He doesn't remember killing anyone. He says that he didn't kill the last victim, the prefect's wife. And the computer verifies that that's not a lie. He does mention that in the darkness he like reached for her, but there was something in the way. It wasn't a person, and it smelled of like peat bog or whatever.
Yeah, basically saying a ghost.
Yeah. So the computer determines that Scotty, like at the very least, is telling the truth that he doesn't know if he killed the other two. We interrogate the suspicious blue-eyed man, and I think this is when we learn about how his ex-fiance didn't really love him, but whatever. He also said he didn't do murder, and the computer's like, yeah, he didn't do murder. He's telling the truth. So they have now run out of suspects. And what do you do when you run out of suspects? Well, you start suspecting ghosts. So yeah, that's when we get the very long tangent you mentioned of, hey, computer, is it possible for an entity of energy to exist for hundreds of years? Yes. Could that entity have been Jack the Ripper? Yes. Okay, well, it's a space ghost that killed these girls. Case closed.
It's very much like that AI meme of, computers say you're alive. I'm alive. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Computers say Jack the Ripper killed these people. Jack the Ripper killed these people. Oh my god.
Oh my Jack the
It was Jack the Ripper.
It was Jack the Ripper. So very early on, when the first murder occurred in the foggy streets of not Britain, I was like, oh shit, Scotty's Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, I had to like not laugh out loud when you said that.
Because I fucking nailed it frame one.
Yeah, I think the actual line of logic they go through is like the Barada, Klaatu, Niktu, Red Jack names.
Mm-hmm.
Like Red Jack, I guess, was a name for Jack the Ripper on Earth or something, and the other names that they mentioned were serial killers on other planets.
Yeah.
And they logicked it out that there was a straight line between all of those murders and here somehow.
Fun fact for those of you that don't know anything about Jack the Ripper, I believe that is a pseudonym because the person was never caught, and we literally still don't know who Jack the Ripper is.
I think they did actually.
Did they
supposedly catch him?
My mother loves watching like mystery shows, and I swear every week I see a new, oh, this guy might have been Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, I think it might have been one of those, but at least they got the Golden State Killer, right?
Yeah, definitely. We can only find the guy who killed Mitch McConnell.
Oh, hey, he's still alive.
Yeah, supposedly. Yeah, yeah. Let's do a seance and find out.
Barada, Red Jack, McConnell.
Who says we can't throw political commentary in here? So yeah, they determined that Jack the Ripper not only is a energy-based sentient ghost that murders women, but also can and did travel across the galaxy to multiple planets and killed multiple women on them.
I don't think they ever explained how it got off of Earth.
They don't, not even a little bit. Um, yeah,
They
they
do state
mentioned
it
that.
like it has to manifest in physical form, which I think is supposed to be the lawyer, but he can also just possess people.
Yeah, that was something else they brought up is like it could be energy based, but could take on a physical form. And like they asked the computer these questions, the computer's like, yeah, that could happen. Doesn't expound or extrapolate upon that in any way.
No, we're just supposed to gloss over that and take it
I
as it
I
is.
think the only thing is Kirk is like, yeah, no, I saw like a fog monster once, so that's totally real.
The fog vampire.
Yeah, the fucking fog murder vampire. So naturally the prosecutor is rightfully protesting all of this insane theory crafting that's going on.
We were comparing him to Frank Grimes up until the reveal.
Yeah, it's like you people are all insane. You're making up ghosts because you don't want
Because
this obvious murderer to be imprisoned.
it is so insane to have a guy to see the man with the knife in his hand in the woman's back and go, nah, he couldn't have done it.
He couldn't have done it, and it was actually a ghost. Oh yeah, and we also get the thing where obviously Jack the Ripper only killed women because women get more scared, and the seance revealed that the thing feeds on fear and anxiety or whatever.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper feeds on fear, which is why he murders people
Mm-hmm.
alone in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's anyway. Eventually we trace the murder trail to Rigel 4, the planet where the fucking prosecutor's from. And everyone starts getting real accusatory of prosecutor Scotty did it. And he starts losing it a little bit and eventually sort of hulks out and starts trying to run away, which is the best way to prove that you're innocent.
He does a sick donkey kick on Kirk.
He kicks Kirk like halfway across the room. It's kind of crazy. Dude's
Like-
got fucking hops.
Yeah, he like jumps up, props himself on the table, and like does a reverse donkey kick into Kirk's chest, like square in the chest. Uh, it's a it's a sick move that I didn't think that little old man was capable of.
Yeah. Yeah, he fucking he does his best to defend himself, but I think he's eventually captured in the room, and then just falls over. And McCoy's like, "Oh, he's dead, Jim."
Yeah, we get this might be the most dead gyms per capita.
I believe we're at 4. Yeah, this is the most fucking dead Jims by far.
Couldn't help themselves.
It's like, you know, that the one thing he's good at, I thought until this episode, is determining if people are dead. So yeah, Jack the Ripper Piglet is dead, but his energy soul inhabits the spaceship because it can do that, and that may be how it got to Mars. Unclear, doesn't matter.
Yeah, then it goes like Joker mode with its fucking dialogue.
Yeah, he goes straight Joker mode. He's gonna he's not just gonna kill everyone on the ship. He's gonna make them all afraid because it feeds on fear and shit. Kirk and Spock
Kirk's solution to that is to go on the intercom and say, "Everybody stay calm." No explanation.
No explanation. Not fucking everybody stay calm. There's a fucking murder ghost in the computer. Everybody stay calm because the murder ghost feeds on fear. Also, there's a murder ghost in the computer. Nothing. Just my name is Kirk and shut the fuck up.
And then their ultimate solution is, "Oh, let's get everybody high.
Let's
then
get
they can't be afraid."
Everybody high as fuck. So they go around the ship trying to stop Jack Computer Man. They kind of do. They've got manual overrides for stuff, but that doesn't last forever for some reason. So yeah, then they get the idea to give everybody a shot. They don't say what it is, but I've seen a heroin overdose before. So yeah, everybody gets real chill. Sulu especially.
Sulu gets like the best line of the episode. He's like, "I couldn't be afraid of anything."
Even if I'm not even afraid of a neutron star, Captain. So yeah, they shoot up everybody with fucking cool juice. Everybody on the bridge, and they tell them to still do their jobs of not crashing the ship or anything. So yeah,
I
they
think yeah, the ultimate way they defeat it is Spock is like, computer, calculate pi,
oh yeah,
and
that's
then it
well, they do
it
that to
it
like stun it, and then they
yeah.
leave the bridge and go to like sick bay or wherever.
I think they go
Um,
back to the conference room
yeah,
or
maybe it was the
something.
conference room. I forget. I just know that McCoy is there, and he's like, "All right, I gave everybody the drugs," and Kirk is like, "Okay, drug yourself." McCoy's like, "I don't want to do that.
I don't get high on my own supply.
I don't get high on my own supply." But then he does because he does what his captain tells him. So the only people that aren't drugged now are Kirk, Spock, and the prefect.
Hmm.
And obviously, Spock doesn't have emotions, so he can't be infected. And Kirk's not infected because he's Kirk. So they start talking to the prefect, and he very quickly reveals that the ghost infected him. So then
Yeah, I
they,
forget how they get it out of him. They might just like punch him in the face or something.
I forget if they punch him in the face or if they drug him. But either way, they do something to knock him unconscious, and then Piglet, who died 10 minutes ago, just gets up and runs out of the room.
I think they wrestle him down in that room. Actually, I
Yeah,
forget.
he gets up, and I think he tries to escape, but then they wrestle him down. I think you're correct.
Yeah, and then
Um,
they pump him full of sedative, which knocks him out,
yeah, they pump him full of
and then
sedative,
they drag him to the transporter room.
literally drag his ass to the transporter room, lay him across two transporters, which I thought would like murder him, and maybe it did. Um,
They say they disperse his molecules to the maximum. So yeah, they disintegrate that dude.
why does the transporter have a disintegrate dude button?
Why does the captain's chair have a deploy pod button?
Okay, fair enough. You know what? I walked into that one.
Also, we do briefly see Lieutenant Kyle in that scene.
Oh yeah, Kyle's there, and he's like, "I can do it." High as fuck, by the way. Spock is like, "No,
Yeah,
I'll do it."
Spock literally pushes him out of the way.
Literally pushes him. Kyle complains about it after that.
It's
Why'd
like,
you
I would have
push me,
done it.
Spock? But yeah,
But
they shoot Piglet the Ripper into space, and he's definitely dead, even though he's a spacefaring ghost, and everything's fine.
yeah, I think they even say, well, you can't really kill it. And they're like, well, it's as good as being dead. He's in the middle of space as a billion particles separated from each other. So good luck with that, bud.
Good luck with that, even though you're some sort of ghost that we still don't actually know what it is and never will. Um, and then yeah, Kirk is or Spock is like, everybody's going to be high for 6 hours, and Kirk and McCoy are like, hey, I know a place.
Yeah, Spock, I think, says, hey, since you guys are all going to be high for the next few hours, how about you get off the ship? Get out of my hair. Go back
Don't
down to the
fuck up.
planet.
Everything was great until you guys showed up. Get out of here.
And then Kirk is like, well, I know a place. And McCoy's like, I know that place too.
I know that place too. And then they fly away, having fucking murdered a man.
I think Scotty is actually also really happy about how this has all turned out, despite the fact that he was used to commit murder.
Yeah, like Scotty may have done those murders with Jack the Ripper's hands. That's never cleared up.
No, yeah. And yeah, the original woman's murder is not resolved at all. Nobody grieves over her.
Yeah, no, mom and our dad and fiance are just kind of left by the wayside.
Like at the end of the day, there's like 3 women dead and nobody really seems to care.
Yeah, yeah,
I know they're all high as fuck, but
yeah. Like there's a dead crewman. There's two dead people from this race that we were fucking visiting, including the president's wife. And it's just like whatever. We killed Jack the
yeah.
Ripper. Go team.
Overall, very crazy episode.
Definitely high on the wacky factor. Probably not going to be too high on the list, but hey, it was a fun time.
I feel like the court scene was a little too drawn out.
It was. It's one of that was something I noticed when we watched the animated episode is, man, having a
Mhm.
30-minute timer, we get through this shit a lot quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like they put in that court scene just to drag things out for the TV hour.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Uh, are we ready to move on to Tribbles?
Yeah, let's talk about the trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah, I was looking through the trivia section of all that, and not really anything super interesting,
Probably just Jack the Ripper stuff, yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah. Apparently, there are a lot of other stories about Jack the Ripper, like possessing people, that were contemporaneous with this one.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess it just Jack the Ripper was a murder ghost was in the zeitgeist at the time.
I think that might have been the case. All right, so Trouble with Tribbles. Let me remember to do our cast in this one. Oh, no, I don't want to save that as a PDF. Why did you ask?
Why would I ever want to save that as a PDF?
We got it's mostly a Kirk episode. I think Spock and McCoy kind of show up for very briefly.
Yeah. No Sulu,
Um,
sadly.
we have a very fussy Federation. He's not a Commodore. I think he's like what, a secretary or
Yeah,
something? Secretary of
Secretary of
Agriculture.
Agriculture or something like that. Yeah.
And then we have the actor who played Trelane back as Koloth,
Okay, that
the
was him. Good
Klingon.
call.
It was William Campbell. Um, and then we have a guy who was obviously supposed to be Harry Mudd, Cyrano Jones.
Cyrano Jones.
This guy's a little more campy.
Yeah.
He felt a little more queer coded than Harry Mudd. He's not as much of a sex pest.
It very much seems like he fell out of a fucking episode of The Honeymooners or something.
Yeah. And then we have what, the actual administrator of the space station. I think it's K7 or something.
Yeah, K7 is a space station.
Larry.
Yeah,
He's
Larry.
a old white guy. And then, all of the regulars are in. We got Chekhov, we got Scotty, we got Ahura. Um, there's one like redheaded red shirt or gold shirt or something who joins in a bar fight at some point, but I don't think he gets named.
Oh, yeah.
But he's there.
He sure is.
There's a second in command Klingon who looks kind of like what is it, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, like a balder Shia LaBeouf.
So to summarize the episode, the Enterprise is doing its business, and then it gets an emergency call from a space station, a priority one call. And then when they get there, it's not actually an emergency, and Kirk never forgives the guy who like pulled the fire alarm on him.
Yeah.
Because it turns out there's like a shipment of like engineered grain that really needs to get to this planet, and he's didn't want to make a normal phone call. He called 911 immediately.
You gotta protect my fucking bread, dude.
And so Kirk's not happy about that, but Klingons are in the area, so he does need to take it kind of seriously. And then as that's all going on and people are taking their shore leave on the whole thing, a shifty trader, Cyrano Jones, is trying to hawk his wares, one of which is a mysterious species of animal known as a tribble, which is apparently very cute and loves everyone.
It loves
It's just constantly
everyone.
purring. Imagine a cat with no claws or face
Or
or
legs,
tail
or
or
tail,
body,
or ears.
but it can eat.
Boy, can it
It
eat!
can eat a lot. So, what is it? Eventually the Klingons do show up and they demand their right to take shore leave on the space station.
Yeah, I think it's a neutral space
The
or something.
Yeah, it's in neutral space, and Kirk is like, "All right, you can come on like 12 at a time, and we'll also come 12 at a time." Uh, the administrator's not happy about that, and Kirk is like, "Well, deal with it."
Yeah. Kirk doesn't want to help him that much because he's still pissed about the fire alarm. So he's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, so they end up eventually starting a bar fight with the Klingons because we needed a 5-minute bar fight scene
Really long,
between,
drawn out bar fight.
like, the Klingons insult the Enterprise, and Scotty doesn't like that, so they start a fight because we just need a fight scene.
There's also a drawn
And
out scene about Scotty's reaction to that.
yeah, I forget if that's the scene where we figure out that Tribbles don't like Klingons.
I think it
Something like
is.
that
Yeah, I
happens.
think it's around that time.
Yeah. Um, so it turns out the Tribbles are getting aboard the Enterprise and breeding prolifically because if you feed them, they breed.
And they're
Like they are parthenogenic, they are self-breeding.
yeah, they don't get into the specifics, but McCoy does say they are born pregnant. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, so if you feed them, they multiply. Just no questions.
Yep.
Um, eventually they get into the grain reserves on board the station, and it turns out that the grain reserves were poisoned because all the Tribbles that ate them are dead. And then they find out, oh, it was poisoned because one of our people was a Klingon saboteur,
A
and
secret Klingon.
it was the undersecretary's undersecretary.
Yeah, double undersecretary.
I guess I forgot to mention him in our cast list because I passed over him. But yeah, there's a younger, shifty-looking guy, and it turns out the Tribbles don't like him because he's secretly a Klingon.
Yeah. Turns out Tribbles known for two things: eating, fucking, and Klingon racism.
And then their solution to getting rid of all of the Tribbles, because there's so many Tribbles, is that they transport them all to the Klingon ship. And
Which
then Cyrano Jones is left with the punishment of picking up all the Tribbles on the station
yeah,
for 17
for
years.
17-ish years.
Because they say there's like a million of them.
Yeah,
Literally.
literally.
And yeah, it's just a fun episode. It's
It's
funny.
fun episode.
Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of little fuzzy guys. It's classic.
Like,
Um,
yeah, there's no real conflict in this episode, I don't think.
not really. Just the Klingons are dicks, and the Federation didn't really back Kirk on this one.
Like, the Klingons didn't even really do anything that bad.
Yeah, like they talk shit about one man in one ship. Um, I guess the meta thing is like both the Klingons and the Federation are fighting over a nearby planet that's also in neutral space.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the Klingons did poison the grain, but that was just one Klingon. It's not like the ship full of Klingons were unrelated to that, I think.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. He wasn't even with them. He was on a separate mission, if that.
Like, they just wanted shore leave,
Yeah,
and he was there to sabotage their, what, super grain?
yeah. They're super grain, whose name they said like 7 times, and I already don't remember.
It was like cryptosporidium or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
they just call it that. um, but yeah, so the episode opens. We're talking about Klingons and how much they suck. We're in neutral space. Um, like you said, there's a distress call, a priority one, fucking disastrous things are gonna blow the fuck up distress call. They call Kirk to the nearby space station immediately, and they know that this is a Klingon patrolled area, so they're at battle stations. They're ready to go, and they get to the space station, and there's nothing. Nothing's on fire, nothing's exploding. So Kirk's really confused, calls over to the space station. Hey, why'd you fucking ring the fire alarm? Oh, come over here and we'll talk to you. Kirk and Spock teleport into basically a fucking closet. And that's when we get our reveal of the bureaucrats. Like, oh yeah, we got to protect this super important grain, so we rung the fire alarm. And I'm higher ranked than you because I'm always higher ranked than a captain, so it's okay if I did that.
Yeah, there's a running gag in the episode where everybody knows what this grain is except Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah, he just calls it grain. It's not just grain, it's fucking crypto spanglum. And it's super important to developing this. Hmm.
Quadrotriticale? Something
Quadro
like that?
Triticale.
I'm I'm sticking with cryptosporidium.
Yeah, no, it's Spingle Spangle. Um, so yeah, there. I guess I got the order of this backwards because there was a back and forth on the ship before they got here with fucking Chekhov. Oh yeah, Chekhov and Spock were giving Kirk like a rundown of the planet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
some guy's planet, Spencer's
Sherman's planet?
Sherman's planet. Um,
I don't know why they call it that. No other planet is this guy's planet,
they say
but
the name so many times it's weird. Yeah,
they do. Even in the sequel that we also watched.
yeah. Um, so yeah, it's an underdeveloped planet. They need to grow stuff that's in neutral space. So the Federation wants it. The Klingons want it. Um, Chekhov makes a bunch of Russian references to, oh yeah, fucking Russia invented space or whatever, and Spock is like, no, they didn't. And Chekhov's like, shut up, man.
Spock, you're making me look dumb
You're
in front
making
of the captain.
you're making me look like I don't know shit about Russia or anything. Um, but yeah, anyway, they're on the space station. Kirk is told that he needs to defend this grain with his life, and Kirk's like, okay, you can have 2 fucking guards, and the rest of us are taking shore leave. Um, bureaucrats
You know,
very pissed.
Chekhov's whole bit of like Russia invented everything. That's a bit you'd expect from like an old man, not like a young guy,
Yeah, not like literally the youngest
right?
guy on the cast.
Like you'd expect like the oldest man possible to be like, yeah, my country invented that.
I
But
I suppose maybe
I
it's
guess
it's supposed to be the angle of like he's young and was indoctrinated to believe that Russia invented all this cool stuff, and like if there was a through line of him realizing that none of that is true, maybe we'd have some character growth here. But I don't think that ever happens.
it would be so funny because the modern Chekhov would just be a North Korean, and he
Oh
would just
man.
be like, yeah, Kim Jong Un invented that.
Yeah, Kim, that's what they told me. That's how it is.
Like pretending that North Korea would not have like unified in the 200 years that it takes to get to Star Trek Future.
We even had the fucking Irish unification. You're telling me North Korea can't figure it out?
Oh, it's so funny when they get to TNG and there are the Irish unification episodes.
That's one of the few things I know is that the Irish reunification of like 2025 or whatever is very important.
Yeah, it will become a plot point.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Nah, it's all good. Fucking yeah, bureaucrats are bureaucrating. Kirk is like, I've never questioned the command of a Starfleet official until today.
Being
Storms
really
out.
rude to this guy. He does not forgive him.
Yeah, he is super pissed about having been like taken not that far away from his destination anyway. Um and again,
It kind
nobody's
of
been
reminds
hurt.
me of that, like, you remember that "Are you autistic or German" test
Yeah.
we took? And one of the questions is like, when you're interrupted, how does it feel? And one of the answers was, it's a physical sensation that I can't describe. I feel like that's what happened to Kirk.
Yeah, he's just fucking like ultra blue balled and pissed beyond belief.
It's like, you interrupted my spacefaring for this?
I tell the ship where to go, not you, fuckface.
My ship, whom I love like a
Whom
woman.
I love like a saggy woman. um, so yeah, Kirk storms off. They get 2 guards. People get shore leave. Uhura, this is when Uhura and Chekhov show up at the bar,
Mhm.
which becomes a central place on this space station. And Chekhov's gonna help Uhura go shopping because he thinks he has a fucking shot. I don't know.
Didn't he have a girlfriend in like one of the last episodes? What happened to her?
I think she cucked him for like literally the god Apollo or something. Maybe that was Scotty. I don't remember. It's too many cucks on this ship.
I think that was Scotty. He had a girlfriend in the episode with Vol.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you had to fucking teach those natives how fucking works.
Yeah, he taught them how love works,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Maybe she stayed there. Who can say? But anyway, he's trying to get it with Ohura. So they go shopping at the bar because who the fuck cares? It's the triple episode.
They're not making a market set.
Yeah. I believe this is when we get our first look at the Tribbles. Our man Cyrano Jones is trying to sell random bullshit to the bartender.
Yeah. Cyrano's trying to sell things to this bartender like he's some kind of fantasy like tavern keeper.
Yeah. Like he doesn't own a bar and Cyrano Jones is like a fucking door-to-door salesman.
Like, dude, this guy sells alcohol. He's not the fucking general storekeeper. He doesn't need all this shit.
Yeah, he's trying to sell him like random gems and like a potion that polishes the gems or something. But yeah, then he pulls a fucking Tribble out of his pocket. And the barkeeper is like, yeah, I'll give you fucking $1 a piece. And Ohura's like, oh, it's so cute. I love it. And Cyrano Jones is like, nah, $10 a piece. And they haggle for multiple minutes while Ohura's just cooing over this Tribble. She loves it. Eventually they settle on a price and he gives the Tribble to Ohura as a thank you for helping him get money. That's it. That's the whole scene. We don't see anything else from them for a while.
Yeah.
I think Kirk has a meeting, a quick Zoom call with Starfleet, and they're like, look, man, this planet thing's actually really important. Just do whatever that guy says.
And I'm like, if it's so important, why didn't you send a guy in the first place?
Yeah, seriously, why didn't you send someone dedicated to this? And I'm sure if the conversation had continued, being like, well, you're there now. Fucking pick up the apples, Apple Boy. So yeah, Kirk gets to be the Apple Boy. I think this is when Klingons show up and they're like, holy shit, there's Klingons. And they call the space station. And they're like, hey, there's Klingons. Be careful. And the space station guy's like, yeah, I know. They're here in the room with me. Fucking camera pans out to show the Klingons.
Yeah. Then his webcam on the Zoom call pans to the left.
Yeah.
For dramatic effect.
The most dramatic fucking Zoom call ever.
That's the power of AI. It knows the exact right moment to reveal the other people in the room.
The other people in the room on the Zoom call. So yeah, then Kirk goes back there and then maybe I guess it doesn't matter, but there is a scene on the ship where Uhura brings back the Tribbles and they've already started to multiply.
Yeah.
They're in.
She's just giving them out for free.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's more than enough Tribbles for everybody. Spock picks up a Tribble and says that he is immune to the psycho calming effect that they seem to emit. Spoilers, he's not.
Yeah, it seems that everybody loves Tribbles and Tribbles love everybody.
Yeah. Tribbles love everybody and they're so calming and cool and everybody can have one because there's too many goddamn Tribbles. McCoy wants to do some testing on them. He determines that all they do is eat and fuck and that's all they're made to do.
They don't even fuck. They just make more of themselves.
Yeah, they say breed, but they don't really get into the specifics of how that happens or why.
Yeah, I noted that biologically, these things seem to have some way of like diversifying themselves because they're not all the same fur texture or color or size, really.
Yeah, they're all very different looking despite like possibly fucking procreating through mitosis, something that we kind of get into in the next episode that we watched.
Well, the ones that we saw were all came from like one Tribble on the ship.
Yeah.
So it's like fucking Gremlins. Gizmo just made a whole bunch of different ones for himself.
Yeah, you just fucking pop some food in them and more. But yeah, that's about all we get from that. I think this is around the time, and maybe it happened in another order, but who cares? But Kirk goes to the conference room with the Klingons, and the Klingons are like, "Hey, we're not here to fight you. Obviously, we want that planet, but we just want our dudes to have shore leave on this neutral space station." grain guy, who is very protective of his grain, is like, don't let any fucking Klingons on here. And for some reason, it's Kirk's call, and Kirk is like, you guys can hang out here, just don't be dicks.
Yeah, and then they immediately start being
And
dicks.
then they immediately start being dicks. So then we go back to the bar. Chekhov, Scotty, and random yellow shirt are there to get a drink because they're on shore leave. And there's a bunch of Tribbles. Well, there are a bunch of Tribbles there actually. But there's a bunch of Klingons there.
And if you look closely, Odo's there too.
Odo might be in the background sometimes. I don't remember the specifics, but this, I believe, is the scene where like someone is like offering a Tribble to the Klingons, and the Tribbles immediately start like hissing and acting aggressive, something they have never done before.
I think Cyrano is like trying to sell more of them, but there's so
Yeah.
many that the market bubble has crashed,
Yeah, he crashed the Tribble market in like 2 hours.
which he really should have known about.
There's no way he didn't. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, Tribbles.
This is like the weird pyramid scheme where like it's somehow an overpopulation of the market or whatever.
Yeah.
Oversaturation.
Yeah. The market saturates itself, really. But yeah, the Tribbles do not like Klingons, and Klingons do not like Tribbles.
You know, even when we get to the further episodes on this, like they do not explain why.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they don't even explain like if they're from the same planet or the same system, but like
we come to understand why the Klingons would hate the Tribbles, but we don't understand why the Tribbles would hate them in turn.
Yeah, like, are they psychic? Did they fucking recognize their hostile nature? It's unclear. But
yeah.
The important thing is that Tribbles are in fact born racist. That whole hate is learned thing is actually bullshit for Tribbles.
Yeah, Tribbles love everyone, unless you're Klingon.
Unless you're Klingon. They don't hate Spock, though. So they can love things that are not human, just not Klingons.
And they don't hate the Secretary of Agriculture. No accounting for good taste.
Yeah, no accounting for taste. So yeah, this is where we get the bar scene. One of the Klingons gets very drunk and starts very loudly exclaiming how much Captain Kirk sucks and how he's fucking a shitbag, even though he like kicks their ass every fucking time, and you've actually heard of him, random Klingon with no name.
I think he calls him a tin-plated, iron-fisted dictator.
Yeah,
with delusions of grandeur or something.
Which is only true like 40% of the time, let's be honest. But yeah, this gets
honestly, Kirk seems pretty lax as far as starship captains go.
I know, right? Sometimes
he lets Scotty get away with murder.
Yeah, he lets Scotty get away with 3 murder. Chekhov is not having any of this talk, and Scotty has to hold him back because you can't go punching Klingons in neutral space. We used to be a fucking real country, but whatever. But then eventually the Klingon switches tactics and starts insulting the Starship Enterprise. And that gets under Scotty's collar, because that's his baby girl.
I think the final straw is, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say it should be hauling garbage. The Enterprise should be hauled as garbage.
Yeah, and that's when Scotty gets up, turns around, and punches him in the fucking face.
And I believe he also calls it saggy.
He does at one point call it saggy specifically, and I was like, you can't insult Kirk's woman like that.
She's very firm and pert, thank you.
She's firm and perky and always ready to mingle. But yeah, we have a really protracted bar fight scene where at the Starfleet are fighting the Klingons with fists. In the middle of all of it, Cyrano Jones is going behind the bar and sneaking drinks. He's like fucking fiddling with the bar materializer to get some drinks and drinking them, but then also trying
replicator, but
that's
I don't think they have replicators yet.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like a replicator. He pressed some buttons and then it came out on a tray. But he's like drinking one drink and keeping one in his hand and trying to avoid the bar fight. It's very funny, but very protracted.
Yeah, it's a quite a long bar fight scene.
Yeah. And everybody's just throwing dudes across the room and punching each other, and fucking everybody's going nuts. The ballroom
One of the
blitz.
red shirts does a pretty good suplex on a guy, I
Oh
think.
yeah, he suplexes him like into a fucking table. Yeah, man, if they had like,
Oh, and Chekhov does the like Raiden meme of punching a Klingon in the stomach and he doesn't do anything.
oh yeah,
Like the Raiden versus Armstrong.
yeah, just,
He's
oh,
just tanking it.
he's poor Chekhov. He's not built for fist fighting.
No. He's barely built for navigating.
Boy, is he. But yeah, eventually the bar fight ends, and we cut to the ship, and Kirk is there berating all of the Starfleet men and trying to figure out who started the bar fight, and nobody wants to admit who started the bar fight. They
It's a real
question
I am
Miles
Spartacus kind of
O'Brien.
deal.
They question Chekhov. They question Scotty. Um, Nobody wants to admit it. So
He did have a little spotty on him. He
Yeah.
had a shiner.
Oh yeah, they both did actually. Him and Chekhov. But yeah, he dismisses them all and confines them to quarters, but tells Scotty to stay. And he's like, "Come on, Scotty, tell me who started the fight. It was Chekhov, wasn't it? Right? It was totally Chekhov." And Scotty's like, actually, it was me, sir." Kirk is
Like, because they insulted me, your captain, right?
yeah, very concerned, but like, well, what is it? What made you start a bar fight, Scotty? Was it because they insulted me? And he's like, well, they did call you a tin-plated, iron-fisted dictator, but no, that didn't start the fight. And it's like, okay, what did start the fight? Oh, well, they said that our ship was kind of trashy. And that made you start a bar fight. Yeah, obviously.
It's a matter of pride.
It's a matter of pride. Kirk, very deflated and maybe determined to be a bit more iron-fisted than he was previously, tells Scotty to get the fuck back to his quarters.
It's like, Scotty, you're confined to quarters. This guy's like, oh, thanks. And now I can catch up on my reading.
I can catch up on my fucking reading. You ever hear about Jack the Ripper? Crazy shit. I think this is when we learn that Tribbles are born pregnant. McCoy says that Tribbles are better than Spock.
Yes, McCoy's like, well, I've learned one thing about them. I like them.
I like
I
him
like you.
more than I like fucking Spock.
And Spock's like, well, I do like one thing about them. They don't talk.
Yeah, so I think
that's when Kirk finds the Tribble in his chair.
Yeah, Kirk
Which
does
becomes another running gag.
Yeah, he tries to sit down and there's a Tribble in his chair, and he tries to sit down and there's a Tribble in his chair, and he's on the bridge and there's Tribbles fucking everywhere.
Fucking bring your Tribble to work day.
Yeah, everybody's trying to do their job with Tribbles all around. I forget exactly what happens, but they're trying to figure out where all the Tribbles are coming from, and someone mentions, oh, well, they probably got in through the air vents. Oh, wait, the space station has air vents. Maybe there's Tribbles in there. So yeah, that's when they go to the space station again. They're like, hey, we need to check out the grain reserves. It might be infested with Tribbles. Fucking undersecretary losing his goddamn mind. You didn't take this seriously. You never took me seriously. I'll have you fucking court-martialed. How dare you destroy my grain? Blah, 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 blah.
I think Kirk gives the line like, I take this very seriously. I don't take you seriously.
Yeah, I just don't take you seriously. So aghast.
He's not been taking this very seriously. Let's be honest.
Kirk has not been taking this assignment seriously in the slightest. He's more than happy to let that planet fucking burn. But they go to check on the grain. They use a weird device to open up the grain doors.
I think somewhere in between here, there was that scene where he has Tribbles in his fucking food.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They try to get some lunch and it's just all full of Tribbles. Yeah. I think that's when they figure out where they're coming from.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun scenes of Tribbles being a nuisance that like aren't impactful to the story in any way. I noticed I didn't
Also,
have a lot
apparently
of
they can
notes for
stick to
this.
walls.
Yeah, sometimes they can just fucking stick to walls.
Like, these creatures would honestly be terrifying
Oh yeah,
in real life,
just little
because
hairy fuzzballs just everywhere, multiplying forever.
they're basically locusts.
Yeah,
Like, I guess to Klingons, they are an Egyptian plague.
yeah, and there was a scene earlier with Cyrano Jones where they're like, "Hey, where'd you get these tribbles?" And like, "Hey, it's not illegal, man. They're not dangerous. I can do whatever I want with tribbles."
I think he specifically says, hey, it's not against the law to transport non-dangerous animals, and these guys don't even have teeth.
Yeah, they can eat, but they can't bite somehow.
This man seriously doesn't have an ecology degree at all.
No, not one bit.
So yeah, they open up the hatch.
Yeah, they open up the hatch, and instead of grain, a bunch of fucking tribbles fall out and bury Kirk in a mountain of tribbles.
Yeah, I think Spock he does the math on how many tribbles would be generated by that amount of grain, and it's like 1,700,000 something.
Yep. So yeah, the grain is all gone, eaten by a mass of tribbles. Secretary continues to lose his mind, but then they notice, oh wait, there's some dead tribbles in here. Actually, all these tribbles are dead. Huh, that's fucking weird.
And then I guess McCoy does his little scanny thing and goes, yeah, they're poisoned.
Oh yeah, they were poisoned. And it's like, they were hanging out in this grain silo. All they had to eat was grain. Well, the grain must have been poisoned with a virus, as McCoy says.
A virus.
Yeah. They do get into the specifics of the virus and how it like fucks with your metabolism and makes you hungry, but you don't absorb any nutrients and you starve to death despite eating.
Yeah, that was a weird, very specific bit of sci-fi for this show.
Yeah, somebody
they don't normally get into.
Somebody really wanted to get into the specifics of how this fucking grain virus worked.
Well, the writer on this was David Gerald, and he does go on to become a TNG writer, I think.
Oh, really?
So I think he was very, very young when this was written.
Oh, wow. I wonder. I wonder if this was his first episode also.
Might be.
Feel like I hadn't seen that name before.
David Joe. He's also famously one of the, because I remember there was an interview with him a while ago that I read. He wrote an episode for TNG that was not allowed to be made because it was too gay.
Too gay.
It was specifically about the AIDS crisis, and they nixed it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I could see that.
Let's see. David Gerald he is 82 right now. He's born in 1944. So
yeah, he was
around
in
this
his
time 20s. He would have
20s.
been in his 20s?
20s, maybe 30.
Yeah. What was his first episode? Star Trek. Well, continue on summarizing. I will.
Anyway, yeah.
Find that. Yeah.
So they determined that the grain was fucked with, possibly by some sort of Klingon spy. They don't know who or how or when. But they suspect it's been like that since before the Klingon longshoremen got here. So it couldn't have been then. So there must be a secret Klingon and they don't know how to find him. But then Kirk gets an idea. They bring everyone into the bar that we've seen so many times, and Kirk is explaining, oh, look at these tribbles. They love everyone. Even Spock. Except they hate Klingons. And then they show the tribble to the Klingons, and they hate it, and they show it to Spock, and likes it. And then they get to Undersecretary, and they show him the tribble, and the tribble goes nuts. And they're like, huh, this guy, despite looking human, has an adverse reaction to tribbles. McCoy, use your racism detector. And McCoy pulls out his tricorder, and he's like, yeah, his shit's all fucked up. This guy's a Klingon. And that's when we learned that Undersecretary was a secret Klingon who was sent to fuck up the grain. And it was actually a good thing that the Tribbles ate it because no humans were harmed, just Tribbles, and that's okay. They arrest him and fucking do they arrest him? I think he flees on the Klingon ship or something. I forget.
Um, I I think they arrest him.
Yeah, I think they arrest him.
He shows up in that Deep Space Nine episode we watched.
That's true. He does. So he must have gotten away somehow. But yeah, then the Klingons are leaving or being dicks or something, and there's too many Tribbles on the ship, and Kirk is like, "God damn it, we need to get rid of these Tribbles." And Scotty's like, "Yeah, I think I got an idea." And then we have a conversation with the Klingons, and Kirk is like, "Oh yeah, we transported all of our Tribbles onto your ship. They're probably in your engine right now." And then that's it. We don't really see what happens, but I assume everyone on that ship, including the Tribbles, die. Because I don't think engines work with Tribbles in them. And then, yeah, we go back to the space station. There's still a bunch of Tribbles. Cyrano Jones is. Tell him he's going to go to jail for 20 years for transporting dangerous Tribbles, or he can clean up this place for 17 years. And
McCoy has to explicitly spell out why the Tribbles are a dangerous species to him because
Yeah.
he does not understand.
he doesn't understand what fucking. Oh yeah, I
how
think
predation works.
they mentioned that they are from a planet where they did have predators, and so that's how their
Yeah.
numbers are normally controlled. But dipshit didn't know or care, so that's what happened. That's why you can't bring plants and animals on planes to different countries.
Throughout the entire episode, I was going, "How do they taste?"
It is fucking crazy that no one tried to eat a Tribble. They even showed up in the food, and no one's like, "Oh, I wonder what they taste like."
Although, if they're hairy at birth, that might be unappealing because they're already pregnant.
Yeah, that's the thing is like you definitely have to shave them, and then especially if there's another Tribble inside of it. Still, I would try at least one.
Like, I don't know. I imagine they'd be like poplars.
Yeah, you just pop them in your mouth.
Or maybe like a turducken.
Oh yeah. See, that might be good if they. I mean, you would think they wouldn't have that much hair in the womb, so
Or
yeah, like a little turducken.
maybe like balut, but a chicken nugget.
A little. All right, you're selling me on them again.
A baby chicken inside of a chicken nugget.
Inside of a chicken nugget.
A nuggie within a nuggie.
Nuggyception. But yeah, they end the episode with it'll be no Tribble at all. And then everyone goes home happy and like remember that thousands of Tribbles are dead, but that's okay.
Also, how did this not start a war when you do that, when you perform biological warfare on another ship like that?
Yeah, I don't remember why they did that, but that is like that kind of goes against the neutral thing.
Also, very surprising that you can just transport things onto someone else's ship.
Yeah, somehow, like, I don't think Scotty rounded them up either, so he was able to, like, genetically lock onto them or something and just transport them all off the ship.
I don't know, apparently that was too difficult to do in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just ends with a happy note.
It just ends with everything's okay and fuck Cyrano Jones and the Klingons.
So related to this, we also watched the anime because our Blu-ray disc loves whoever assembled these Blu-rays loved the Tribbles episode, so they put everything Tribble related onto one disc.
Yeah,
this singular disc.
This one disc had a single episode of Star Trek, where previously the disc had like 4 or 5 episodes.
But this one also contained the animated sequel to this episode, More Tribbles, More Troubles, and the Deep Space Nine episode that time travels back to this episode. We're not going to go fully into those. Maybe we'll do it when we get to them. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's worth bringing up as our extra thing. Hey, it was actually Star Trek this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was super interesting.
They're basically a rehash of these episodes, but I think like the contrast between how like Deep Space Nine was plotted between like an original series episode, because the pacing is much snappier
Oh yeah, yeah. It
for being the same
definitely.
runtime.
Yeah, they don't meander as much, and I'm really excited to get to Next Generation just to see if that is also the case. And it's just like, maybe TV shows were just written different fucking 50 years ago.
Because I feel like those episodes were much better at handling like interweaving subplots
Mm-hmm.
and handling an ensemble cast.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because like TOS is mostly the Kirk show. The camera's always on Kirk, and when it's not on Kirk, people are asking, "Where's Kirk?"
Yeah, it's either Kirk or Spock is always the spotlight.
Whereas with the Deep Space Nine episode, I feel like everybody got a fair chunk of time.
Yeah, everybody got a little bit. Everybody had, like, even if they were doing a side plot, it was advancing the main plot in some way. Um like some of it was maybe a little pointless. It was more to show off the technology of what they were doing with the episode, of showing like, oh yeah, look at this cool shit where we're splicing old episode with new and we cleaned up the old stuff so it looks pretty good. Um but overall there was no like fucking 5-minute bar fight. They even cut down the bar fight.
Yeah, yeah. For people who don't know, the episode does a really interesting thing where they took the old footage of the episode and spliced the characters from the '90s show into it. Um, I guess they had to have used like green screening or something,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was a honestly pretty believable effect. It looked pretty good even on our modern television set.
Yeah, even on modern Blu-ray where that stuff might like look pretty dissimilar. Sorry. They did a good job of splicing it together where nothing looked too out of place. And yeah, they were just inserting Deep Space Nine characters not into every scene, but into multiple scenes, like the bar fight. They put fucking Miles O'Brien in the lineup where Kirk is trying to figure out who started the bar fight, and it all looks good. It looks like it was all at the same time.
Yeah, they obviously had to recreate some of the like TOS sets, but like it looked pretty exactly the same.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, like
when they had to
when
use sets, it didn't feel out of place.
yeah, like they have multiple scenes in the bar with Odo and uh Klingon guy who's
Odo,
Michael Dorn.
Worf.
Worf, yeah. And yeah, it looks like they're in that same bar, which is crazy. I wonder if they had any of those props left over or if they had to remake it from scratch.
I have no idea, but I would imagine that at that point, like Trek was at its like peak of popularity, so there would have been nerds who could just recreate the set from memory.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um, the Tribbles actually looked better made in the Deep Space Nine episode.
Yeah, I'm very curious if those tribbles were custom made in the original or if they were just like some like weird fur balls that were like had some other purpose.
I imagine they just like I don't know, took like fur coats or something and repurposed them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they definitely seemed like you just cut a little balls out of fur coats and fur liners and stuff and shaped it into a ball. Um
Like for people who've never seen these episodes, I don't know why you're listening to this, but there were had to have been like 1,000 of these things made for these
yeah,
episodes.
literally like buried fucking Kirk up to his neck in these things. They had a lot of these little fuckers.
Like the prop people must have hated it.
That probably sucked to make.
Oh, I heard you just now.
Okay. Yeah. Are we back?
Oh, I see the stream up. Yep.
Yeah, chat, we're so back. Okay. And I got more viewers after that somehow. Cool, love everything. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Cox is the worst internet company in the fucking universe, and I hate them. Anyway, Tribbles.
Yeah, I was bringing up the animated episode. It was very interesting to see because, like, on on a script level, it was about equivalent to a TOS episode, but like on a presentation level, it was like a low budget Hanna-Barbera production.
I had never like I feel like maybe I've seen a couple of screenshots of the animated series, but I'd never seen it before, and I'd never even heard of it until you told me about it. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, it straight up looked like an episode of C Lab. Like there was very little actual movement ever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it was like the bad parts of Invincible.
yeah, it's just like a thing wiping across the screen, which is space, so they can do that, and it's not too weird. Also, like a
A lot of
submarine.
lingering shots
Oh
too to
yes,
fill out runtime.
so many lingering shots. Characters having like 2 or 3 frames of mouth movement for talking. Um, and a lot of talking, which I understand this probably was not made with the intent of children watching it, but if I was a child, I'd have been bored to fucking tears watching this.
Um, I'll say there are better episodes,
That's
uh,
understandable.
but like this one really is just like a rehash of the original
It really
episode.
is just
I
Tribbles
think it
too.
was just there because people liked Tribbles and
Yeah.
wanted more Tribble content. And if that's
Um
what you wanted, that's what you got.
yeah, you got more Tribbles. They're pink now. They're different. They
Yeah.
don't breed. Spoilers, they do.
They don't breed. Instead, they get fat.
They just get
Story of my life, huh?
um oh yeah, there was actually like an alien on the bridge. Like a straight up inhuman alien. Um
Yeah, so like obviously because it's animated, they can be much more interesting in character design, but I guess their animation budget was bad because they just kind of stand still despite looking interesting.
yeah, that alien never moved, but it did have a third arm on its chest and it was like yellow. Um so
And
I
they introduced the Tribble Eater, which was an interesting looking alien.
oh
But
yeah, the little like fucking UFO grabber guy with 4
yeah,
legs.
I said it looked like the Onion from Pikmin.
Yeah, yeah, it looks straight up like a green onion, and it just like lowers itself onto Tribbles to eat them.
Also, not actually that good at its job, at least in with terms of these Tribbles.
Yeah, it can eat regular sized Tribbles just fine, but if they get big, they don't. Which is funny because it's like Cyrano Jones. He's back, by the way. His whole thing is, nah, it's fine. These ones don't breed, and I got a Tribble eater
Cyrano Jones, who did not sound like the original Cyrano
who
Jones.
did not die.
Like
Uh,
I think they only got the like crew back because none of the characters returning for that episode sounded like they did in the original episode.
yeah, I was gonna say even the other characters that were returning did not sound like they were the same actors. They were probably like cartoons. Go fuck yourself. I'm an actor.
Oh, also I'll mention in the Deep Space Nine episode they do bring back the Klingon spy character with the original actor, and that was a nice touch.
That was cool. He definitely looks much older. But yeah, that
He
was
looked
really
like Henry
cool.
Winkler.
He
Yeah,
straight up looked like a fucking little more Asian Henry Winkler.
but I always appreciate it when they can bring back the old actors.
Yeah,
They actually do a thing in Deep Space Nine where they bring back several of the old Klingon actors and put them in full Klingon face.
that's awesome. Yeah, the new Klingon face, which we actually did get a little scene
Not
about in
to,
that
yeah.
Deep Space Nine. Because yeah,
Yeah,
Worf's got
a
the
waitress is like, yeah, those Klingons were talking about Klingon coffee, and they're looking around like, where's the Klingons? And it's like over there with the fake
the
beards.
guys with the fake beards, Klingons.
You know, Brian's like, those are Klingons.
Then everybody just
And
stares at Worf.
Worf's like, we don't talk about it
It's a thing, but we don't talk about it, and that's all we get.
until the Enterprise, where they explain it.
Oh, is Enterprise where they get into it? Okay.
Yeah, and it's dumb as fuck.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, the only other thing about the animated episode was Scotty was manning the transporter, and on some of the shots, Scotty has a mustache.
Only from behind, though.
Yeah, you could only see him like the right side of his mustache from behind. Any other shot, he just looked like Scotty.
I think this might have been when the actor had a mustache.
Oh really?
Oh, are we? Is the stream
God
dying?
damn it.
No, I think we're back.
Okay, hopefully. It looks like I'm dropping, but oh, It says we're going back up. Maybe it's just a
Yeah,
little spike.
because I remember James Doohan at some point grows a mustache, and oh yeah, another trivia note is James Doohan does like all of the extra voices for that show.
Okay, because yeah, the Klingon in the animated episode, I was like, that kind of sounds like James Doohan.
Yeah, he does like most of the extra voices for some reason.
That's awesome. Yeah, maybe he
He's,
just likes doing
I think
voices.
he's kind of the Brent Spiner of that gen, where he just loves doing silly voices.
I believe it. Yeah, especially if weren't
Because
you telling me that like Scotty did not need to have a Scottish accent, he just did that.
no, yeah, he much like Mike Myers, he just does it for fun.
He's in it for the love of the game. Not even ontologically Scottish.
Because I believe Shrek also was not demanded to be Scottish. He just made that decision.
Yeah, which was the correct decision.
He was originally Chris Farley, so
Yeah, that's if you ever want a fucking tonal whiplash, go look up the test footage of Chris Farley for Shrek.
that would have been a much different movie.
It would have been a very different movie. I'd have liked to see it. I can't say it would have been better, but it would have been interesting.
I think it was still Eddie Murphy though.
Yeah, I think it was still Eddie Murphy for Donkey.
I don't think it's a good idea to get two men who love cocaine that much together though.
Well, maybe God agreed with you because that never ended up happening.
Yeah, I think that might have been for the best for Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
and his trajectory.
Man's got to
He would
go
go on
do.
to make Pluto Nash, I guess.
Yeah, I was just going to say. Eddie, you've got to live. You got to make Pluto Nash in 10 years. And yeah,
I guess we should rank them.
the only other thing from the animated episode is they bring back the Tribble in Kirk's chair bit, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. That was pretty funny.
That was a good bit, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just more Tribbles. They get bigger, and then they explode into tiny Tribbles. The end.
Yeah, it's weird that they say they don't get pregnant when actually they're just not releasing their pregnancy.
Yeah, and it's like they're
just constipated.
Yeah, and it's not really clear if they actually are one big thing or if they're just like a bunch of little things. And
McCoy gave them like a shot that made them unbig,
yeah,
but also into a bunch of tiny ones.
Just broke them down. But since it doesn't really have a face, you can't really orient it and like see if it was always a bunch of little ones. But also, I guess it's space medicine and it can do whatever, so who cares?
Yeah, I don't know how many orifices a Tribble has.
I
assume just
know.
one.
You would think,
for eating
right?
and birthing.
Yeah, because there are things.
Because I don't think they make excrement at all. I think they just convert everything to new Tribble.
Yeah, which, like, on the one hand, thank God. On the other hand, oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, what's our ranking on Jack the Ripper's adventure?
Yeah, Jack the Ripper's adventures with Scotty. It's
kind of low on the list for me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like it's fucking hilarious.
Somewhere around Charlie X, maybe.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it like. Is it better or worse than Who Mourns for Adonai?
It's funny because those are both torturing Scotty episodes.
They sure are. Which Scotty torture is better?
I want to say Adonai was more boring than this one.
It was. There was definitely more to it.
This one definitely had more sets.
Yeah. I think I'm willing to give it to Wolf. I'm willing to put that above Adonai.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Unless you think it deserves to be below Charlie X.
No, I think the scene where Jack the Ripper takes over the ship redeems it a lot because that was pretty fun.
That was pretty fun.
And interesting.
Even if it made no sense, yeah. And figuring out, oh yeah, let's just drug everybody so the murder fucking ghost can't inhabit anybody.
Yeah. The courtroom scene really drags it down, I think.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that.
but not as much sitting around and talking and going in circles as Adonai.
Yeah. Ugh. Less rapey too.
Yeah.
And the trouble with
Trouble with
Tribbles.
As much as I like the episode comedically, it's not really that great of an episode.
It's not like it would have been nice if they got more into the Klingon fight over the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of middle of the pack for me. It's not terrible.
Yeah, what zone are we thinking? Are we thinking somewhere around Operation Annihilate? Do we want to go higher or lower?
Maybe somewhere around I Mud.
Okay, yeah. That
I feel like that's an equivalent episode.
I agree. Okay. We thinking better or worse than I Mud? I'm thinking I feel like the fact that it at least had something relevant to
I think it moves along better than I Mud does.
Yeah, I agree.
More jokes per capita.
Yeah. More overarching universal conflict.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's about right.
I think that's a good spot for it.
And what do we got coming up after that?
What do we have coming up?
Let me check my list. After that, we have... I think we're going in airing order. The Gangsters of Triskelion, which that's an episode about gambling.
Ooh.
Gambling with your life on the line.
Your life on the line.
And after Gamesters, oh Jesus, why is my mouse doing this? A piece of the action. That's a Chicago gangster episode.
They really did 2 in a row,
huh? Yeah, if you ever wanted to see Kirk in a pinstripe suit holding a Tommy gun, this is the one.
Okay, I think I've never wanted to see anything more in my entire life. Because I have seen Captain Picard in a pinstripe suit holding a Tommy gun, and it's fantastic.
I think that was... Oh, are we dropping
God damn it.
frames? Well, yeah, we can look forward to that, and I think we might be getting signs that we should shut our production down.
Yep, it sounds like the internet is not cooperating. So thank you all for coming by and hanging out, listening to some dudes talk about Star Trek and or video games. Have yourselves a good Sunday. Remember that Tuesday is Bastille Day, so keep an eye on that. And Nick, any words of wisdom?
Remember, don't feed your tribbles after midnight.
Don't feed your tribbles after midnight or ever. You can get them wet though. That's fine.